معرفة.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Now let us discuss about the bank accounts. To start with, let us discuss about the Islamic current account. Generally, there are two structures which are used in Islamic current account, and the commonly or the majorly used structure is the structure of qard. Now, what we mean by qard is basically qard is a Islamic Sharia compliant loan agreement in which one party entrusts an amount to the other party, and there is no interest which is charged over the amount which is transferred from the one party to the another. Meaning to say, if the customer deposits $100 with the Islamic bank through a qard contract, the Islamic bank is liable to pay only $100 back to the customer after an agreed period of time. So, but in a current account, what is agreed is that the customer enters into a qard contract, it's a Sharia compliant loan contract, and deposits the customer's cash with the bank. Anytime when the customer is in need of cash, the bank should immediately pay back that amount to the customer. And after receiving the deposit, the banks issue a checkbook, an ATM or a debit card to the customer. So basically, these instruments are used to withdraw cash at any time whenever the customer wishes. And whenever the customer demands, the Islamic bank fulfills the demands and provides the liquidity to the customer. There is another contract which is used, which is called as wadiya. Wadiya basically means safe deposit, safe custody, wherein the customer, through a wadiya contract, deposits the funds with the Islamic bank and permits the Islamic bank to invest the money in Sharia compliant businesses. And whenever the customer is in need of the cash, the bank has to fulfill that need and provide that amount to the customer, because that money was kept as a safe custody. Now, this is a structure for Islamic savings account. Most of the Islamic banks use the structure of mudaraba in terms of their savings account. So if this is a depositor, if this is a customer who comes and opens a savings account with the Islamic bank, the contract which the customer needs to sign is the contract of mudaraba. Meaning to say that the depositor is the Rabbul Mal, that is the investor, and the Islamic bank is the manager or the mudarib. The funds which are deposited with the Islamic bank invests those funds in its business, and the business of Islamic bank is to provide Sharia compliant financing to its customers. So what is agreed in the mudaraba contract, as we have discussed earlier, is a profit sharing ratio. So based on whatever profit is generated in the investment, that profit is shared with the depositor. So on a monthly basis, there's a calculation which is done by the bank in terms of the profit which is generated on its investment, and that profit is shared with various depositors of the bank, of course based on the amount of investment which the depositor has done with the Islamic bank. There are of course certain fine elements to this Islamic savings account, which you can always refer to the reading material which is given. But in terms of a simple structure, what it means is that the deposited amount of the customer with the Islamic bank is invested by the Islamic bank in its business, and the profit which is generated is shared with the investor. And generally the banks give an estimated profit, so based on what was the profit the bank has received in the last month.